You might not know the name of this child in this picture, as she lived only 2 years, but you have most certainly heard about her mother, Kaylee Anthony, and the tragic story behind this. Kaylee Anthony was reported missing on July 15, 2008. Shockingly, she was last seen on June 16th, nearly a month before the report. Cindy Anthony, Casey's mother, reported her granddaughter missing, expressing concerns about not having seen Kaylee for 31 days. In a 911 call, Cindy made a horrifying revelation, stating that her daughter, Casey's car, had an alarming smell, akin to a dead body.
We're talking about a 3-year-old little girl. My daughter finally admitted that the baby's in the store. I need to find her.
Your daughter admitted that the baby is where?
But the babysitter took her months ago that my daughter's been looking for. I told you my daughter was missing for a month. I just found her today, but I can't find my granddaughter. She just admitted to me that she's been trying to find her herself. There's something wrong. I found my daughter's car today, and it smells like there's been a dead body in the damn car.
Local police quickly arrived on scene, but did not find anything suspicious. At the same time, Kaylee Anthony quickly became the primary suspect of the disappearance of her daughter. This delay in reporting raised suspicions and initiated a chain of events that led to one of the most watched trials in recent history. One of the primary reasons for the public outrage was Kaylee Anthony's deceptive behavior and her tendency to change her account of what happened to Kaylee. She initially told the police that a babysitter had kidnapped her daughter, a story that later proved to be false. Her inconsistent statements and misleading behavior during the investigation raised significant red flags.
Lately, jurors can't be too sure which Casey is going to show up. Yesterday, laughter. On Friday, tears and glares from a seemingly angry Casey during her brother's testimony on Thursday. Shortly after, a sick Casey had to be escorted out of the courtroom, and the judge extended a break to allow Casey to compose herself. On Friday, when the prosecution showed an animation of Kaylee's face superimposed over a picture of her skull with duct tape over her nose and mouth,
Casey didn't take her eyes off that monitor. Once the jury came in, of course, she's looking away, and, it's strategic.
Throughout the investigation, Kaylee Anthony displayed behavior that many found disturbing. She continued to go out partying and show little emotion or empathy for her missing child, which the public found deeply unsettling. This perceived indifference fueled the narrative that Kaylee was callous and uncaring. The prosecution painted Anthony as a party girl who murdered her daughter to get rid of parental responsibility and enjoy her youthful life. It anchored its evidence on Kaylee's lies about the non-existent nanny, computer searches on household weapon-like substances, and the alleged smell of death in Kaylee's car trunk. The prosecution faced difficulty in providing concrete scientific evidence to back the circumstantial facts. The situation took a dark turn when the authorities discovered evidence suggesting that Kaylee was not missing, but dead. A utility worker found skeletal remains near the Anthony's homes in December 2008, which were confirmed as Kaylee's for DNA testing. The conditions of the remains and the fact that they were concealed added to the shock and public outrage. The discovery shifted the focus of the investigation from a missing persons case to a homicide investigation. The trial of Kaylee Anthony, which took place in 2011, was a media sensation. The prosecution argued that Kaylee had murdered her daughter, while Jose Baez, Kaylee's defense attorney, focused on evidence contamination and exploited scientific uncertainties. He further posited that Kaylee was not murdered but had accidentally drowned in the family pool. The defense alleged that Kaylee's father, George, discovered the body and helped cover up the death to save his daughter from blame. Adding elements of familial intrigue and molestation allegations against George Anthony gave the case a lurid spin. One of the most significant turning points in the Kaylee Anthony case was the verdict. On July 5, 2011, Kaylee Anthony was found not guilty of first-degree murder.
As to the charge of first-degree murder, verdict as to count 1, we the jury find the defendant not guilty, so say we all, dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, on this 5th day of July, 2011, signed foreperson. As to the charge of aggravated child abuse, verdict as to count 2, we the jury find the defendant not guilty, so say we all, dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, this 5th day of July 2011, signed foreperson. As to the charge of providing false information to a law enforcement officer, verdict as to count 4. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of providing false information to a law enforcement officer as charged in the indictment.
This unexpected verdict sent shockwaves throughout the nation. Many people were outraged as they believed that she had played a role in her daughter's death and that justice had not been served. She was only found guilty of 4 misdemeanor counts of providing false information to law enforcement, with a jail time amounting to a pre-trial incarceration period. The trial's verdict sparked a national uproar, many referring to it as an egregious miscarriage of justice. However, the jury's decision highlighted the gaps in prosecution's case. The prosecution failed to convincingly establish a cause of death, which is key to a homicide case. Furthermore, they did not present evidence tying Kaylee directly to her daughter's murder. Even a decade later, it still elicits strong emotions and provoking thoughts about the American legal system. Society places a great deal of importance on the roles and responsibilities of parents. The expectation is that a parent will protect, love, and provide for the children. When Kaylee was portrayed as a mother who appeared to have abandoned these responsibilities, it was deeply unsettling to many. The public's collective sense of outrage was fueled by the perceived betrayal of a mother's duty and the unsettling behavior that Kaylee displayed in court. Many felt that justice had not been served, and it truly shows how the concept of innocent until proven guilty can be seen as a double-edged sword in the justice system. If you like this content and want more, consider subscribing, and we will meet in the next one.